Well, hello everyone. How are you all today? Let me know who's here, how you're doing. My computer, just the fan started going, so I hope you can't hear that. It's rather loud here. um, anyway, yeah, let me know who's here. Say hi. Let me know who's here and what you're up to. I see a few people jumping on here, so it's good to see you. Don't be shy. So what are you all up to today? Hi, Louisa. How are you? How are you doing? Good to see you. Hi, Sherry. Good to see you. What are you guys up to today? So, are you doing some crafting? Getting ready for Christmas? So I think I will go ahead and get started. So those of you that are on time, I'm not holding you up. So welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. And if you're watching the replay, thank you so much for watching. So you can see I've got a brand new catalogue and celebration brochure in front of me. It's a big week in the Stamping Up world. Yesterday we were able to start pre-ordering from this brand new catalogue, and of course I added to my pre-order a nice big pack of catalogues and celebration brochures. So if you're one of my regular customers, you'll be getting one. I've asked Stampin' Up to send some out to my regulars. But if you're not one of my regular customers and you don't have a demonstrator that sends you one and you'd like to get one, then please put a comment in the comment, or you can send me a message, and I would love to send you one. This catalogue starts on I want to say it's the 4th of January or the 5th of January, I can't remember. But it's full of lots of great products. I put my pre-order in yesterday, so I'll have some sneak peeks to show you next week, hopefully. And there's also a brand new kit that's available this week, and the clearance rack has been stocked up. So lots going on. And lots of bargains on the clearance rack. Items up to 60% off, including ink pads and blender pens and embellishments and paper and stamps and all kinds of, and even a couple of kits I saw. All kinds of good things available, so make sure you go check that out. Let's see what Louisa says. Still not too good and very weak. Oh no, I'm so sorry your surgery got cancelled. What a bummer. That's too bad. Hopefully they'll be able to reschedule it soon. Anyway, let me show you what we're going to be making today. And like I say, I'll have more. Unfortunately, I can't show you the inside of the catalogue. We're not allowed to do that yet. But I will have some things to show you next week. So let me show you the project we're going to be making, or I'm going to be making today. Look at this. I just love how this, quite pleased with myself actually. I just love how it turned out. So this is called a pop-up column card, is what I've been seeing people calling it, and it does fold flat to go in an envelope, and you can see it's quite big. This is actually a 5x7 card, but I just love how it turned out. So let me know, let me show you how I made it and what I used. So you may recognize a lot of these 7, which is why I was able to do that big card. And let me show you what the card bases look like. I don't know if you can see, but they're all kind of shiny, and there's all this glitter on the bottom. And the nice thing is that if you really wanted to be economical, you could actually cut these down the middle and then trim them a little bit and mount them on some of your own cardstock and get kind of 2 for 1. But they are designed to be just a card like this. And then you can see they have the matching envelopes. So this is what I actually used for the card. And then this is an add-on. This is a paper pumpkin product. So you do need to be a subscriber to get those, but I want to show you. So these were an add-on to last November's kit, which was called Warm Wishes. And in this kit you got 8 of these adorable little boxes, and I'll show you one that's made up. So I had a Christmas party at my house on Saturday for my local team. So about 6 of my local team came. I have a few more than that, but not everyone was able to make it. And each one got one of these. So this is exactly, I made it up exactly as designed, except for one little thing that I'll show you in a minute. But I don't know if you can see, but there's these cute little, these are 3D and they're popped up, these little wreaths. You get a whole sheet of these. And then it opens like this, and then inside I've got some, and you get these little, that one's upside down. You get these little wreath stickers. Oh, I put this in upside down, I guess. I put the bag in upside down. So let's see if I can fix that. So what I did is I put, well, they're coming off, but I put some glue dots along the bottom here to hold the bag in place. They have tear and tear. There's tear and tape included in the kit, but I thought I would just use a couple of glue dots. And then what I did is I put Velcro dots on the lid and on here and here, so that rather than tear and tape, so that we could open them and close them. And there's the little house. So that's the brown one, and then here's the blue one. And they're quite big, you can see, and you get the bags are included. So you just literally fold it up and fold it over like this. And like I say, I put Velcro. Now what I have seen some people do is they've made a little box kind of to go inside that sticks inside, so that there's sides on it, so that you could fill the box. You can still use the bag, but so that it has sides. But stuff doesn't really fall out if you just put a couple of glue dots or something. So anyway, so these are called Warm Wishes, and there are refills still available in the online store. There's not, so the refill does not have the stamps or the ink, but it has, but you could definitely find one of your own sentiments to use. There's a little round sentiment that goes on here, a little round tag, and I think you can put for you or something else, I forget what now, but you could definitely just use your own sentiments. But in the kit you get all the boxes and the bags and the twine and all the little wreaths. I didn't stick them on this one yet, but there's all the little wreaths and the little seals to go on the bags. So you really can manage quite well without the stamp set and the ink. The other thing, the other thing I used was the month before was this paper pumpkin kit called Home for the Holidays. And there's also a refill for this available online still. And I did not use the card bases. This is what the card bases look like. So I did not use these because I needed something bigger, but I used all these little houses and the trees. And I'll talk more about that in a little bit. So if you are not a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you should definitely sign up, and then you could go and purchase these items from online. And then if you decide you don't want to get January's, they'll be giving us some little clues in a few days. The subscription period ends for December's, so you could skip December's if you don't want it. There's sneak peeks out online right now. And then they'll also be giving us some little sneak peeks of January, February and March kits actually. So if you didn't want those, you could skip them, but you can still buy all the refills from online under the Paper Pumpkin store. I hear January's is like really, really cute. I don't know anything about it yet, but I hear it's really great, and it's usually something to do with Valentine's Day. And then if you really don't want to subscribe, let me know. If you know someone that's a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you could have them order for you, or get in touch with me and I can order for you too. But the nice thing about subscribing is that you can skip whatever months you're not interested in. So let me show you how to make this cute card. And if you wanted to do it, I'm going to show you how to do the fold. If you could definitely use just designer series paper and whatever you liked in the middle here. You definitely do not have to do it with the Paper Pumpkin kit, but the Paper Pumpkin stuff, but I thought it just came out so cute. Let's see. Hi, Christine. Hi, Denise. Thanks for watching. All right. So let's see. Let's get my pieces here. So you will need, for this front piece here, which is the front and then the columns, you will need a piece of cardstock, and I'm using Night of Navy, and it's 11 inches long, so it's just a length of a full sheet of cardstock by 5 inches wide. So you can only get, at this size, you can just get one out of a piece of cardstock. And then I've already scored it, but I'll show you grab my, what's this called? I can never remember what this is called. Anyway, get my scoring board, which I can't remember the official name of. And along the long side, you're going to score every 3/4 of an inch. Well, not all the way across, but you're going to score at 3/4 of an inch, 1.5, 2 1/4, and 3. And then you're going to move across to 8 inches, 8 3/4, 9.5, and 10 1/4. Now, if you're using your trimmer, you can definitely, it's the same on each end. So you could do your scores this way, and then you could just flip it around and do exactly the same on this end. I'm kind of lazy. I don't like to put that swinging arm out on my trimmer. Often it's because I don't have room on my desk because it's so full with stuff, but you could definitely do that. So that's the scoring. And then you're going to fold them all kind of like mountain folds. So you're going to fold them all away from you. And I'm not going to worry too much about burnishing really well at the moment, but the reason I like to do this is because I find it easier to see where the score lines. I'm going to be adhering some patterned paper in the middle here, and I find it a little bit easier to see the score lines if I fold it on them. So you can see that this is cut from one of the cards, and I do have some cut, but I want to show you how I did it, because there was kind of a method to my madness, shall we say. So let me pull this out again, and let me grab my trimmer. So I need a square. This section in the middle is basically 5 inches square, and I need a square that is 4 3/4 and 4 3/4 by 4 3/4 to go in the middle. And this card is 7 inches up across here, and then it's 10 across here with a score line down the middle. So I need to get the square cut from here, and I wanted to see if I could include the little moon. So what I did to start with is I cut 1.5 inches off the bottom. Now, if you're just using designer series paper, some designer series paper, obviously you don't need to worry about all this. You're just going to have a 4 3/4 inch square and then 2 strips to go on the side, and I'll show you how I did those. But if you do want to use these, if you have these already, or if you're going to order them, I wanted to show you how I did it. So 1.5 inches off the bottom, and that means this now is 5.5 inches, right? So then to get it to 4 3/4, I need to trim off 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to flip it round, and if I take off 3/4 of an inch here, I'll still end up with my moon right at the top like that. Okay. Now, if on the score line here, now this is now I've got like 4 3/4 by 5 across here, right? So I need to take off 1/4 of an inch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it well, once I cut it down the middle, I'll need to take off. So I'm going to line this up at 5, and I should be cutting right down the score line then. And then I need to take off 1/4 inch, which I'm going to do from this side. You could do it from the other end, but I wanted my moon. I wanted my moon a little bit further over, so that's why I did it from. Okay, so there's my square. That is 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. Now I need the side strips too. So what I did here is I cut this piece into 1 each strips. And I don't need them all, but you'll see why I cut more than I needed. This hopefully will make sense. That's a bit. Right, so let's put my trimmer away because I don't need that anymore. Let me zoom in a little bit. See if I can do that. There you go. And I turn down my bright and light just a little bit. That's better. Okay, so I know I can put these pieces away. So why I cut this down was because the edge piece, I want to see if I could get some pieces that will kind of line up with these, you know, the sides a little bit. So I'm just going to choose like this one. That's pretty good. And then this one over here, maybe. Those line up pretty well. They almost exactly, actually. And then I can get rid of, put these to one side for something else. All right, so that's the pieces. So let's bring back this. And I'm going to stick this in the middle here. So let's get some adhesive. And then I need to cut a circle out. So once all your pieces are cut, it's actually fairly straightforward. So I'm going to place this in the middle. And like I say, you could do this. I'm going to give you the dimensions. Make sure I tell you the dimensions again afterwards. I'll put them on my post. And then you could do this with any. In fact, what inspired me was another demonstrator had done this with, I think she'd done a smaller version, I'm not sure. And she had used one of these, she'd cut out, it may have been a big one actually, she'd cut out like this house. And she'd put that behind the circle opening, and then she'd used a designer series paper here from another paper, a completely different paper pack, because she didn't have these. And I started thinking, because I already had these, and I started thinking, what could I do? And I came up with this. So I can say I'm quite pleased with myself. So the next thing I need to do is cut out a circle, and this is using the deckled circles. But any circle that you have, and I will tell you the width of this one. So these are the deckled circles. You get 14. These are amazing. I love how, you know, you can do really layers that are really close in size to each other. So this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the 7th from the smallest one that you want to use, and it's about let's see, it's about 3 1/4 inches. Now, my first attempt, I used a bigger circle because I thought, I want my opening bigger. But the problem is, if you make a bigger opening, then what happens is your columns that are right in here, they show here. The circle comes around here, and then you can see part of the column. So you can't really go too much bigger than this, than about 3/4 inch. But if you don't have the deckled circles, you could use you know, some other circle dies that you have. All right, so I'm just going to turn around. My die cut machine is behind me. I'm going to turn around and die cut this. I'm just going to eyeball the center and cut that out, and then I'll be right back. And the nice thing is it will go through both layers. So that's the circle, and we need to hang on to that because that's going to go in the back. So I can put my deckled circle to one side. All right, now let's put that to one side. Oh, actually we can stick these, oh no, let's put those to one side. Let me make sure I'm going in the right order. And I'm going to grab, so the other pieces that you need are, for the back, I need a piece that's 5 by 7. And then I've got a piece of white cardstock that is 4 3/4, no, sorry, 6 3/4 by 4 3/4, so 1/4 of an inch smaller. And this is for the back, so this is where you're going to write. So let's do a little bit of stamping. Let me grab the stamps. Now the stamps I'm using came in the Home for the Holidays kit, in this kit. But if you don't have the kit and you just purchase the refill, or you're doing something completely different with not even using paper pumpkin, then obviously you can use whatever stamps you like. And you could, it doesn't even have to be a Christmas card. But I'm going to kind of copy what I did. Let's see, I'm going to kind of copy what I did here. So I'm going to do the sentiment. And while I've got my Real Red open, actually, I'm going to do the sentiment that goes on the front too. So this is also part of the Paper Pumpkin kit, the Home for the Holidays kit. And like I say, if you don't have this, you can just make your own tag. So I'm going to, there's a Happy Holidays and a Merry Christmas option. I'm kind of like a traditional Christmas gal. So I'm going to do Merry Christmas. So I'm going to do that on here. Like that. And then I'm going to do Celebrate the Wonder and Joy of this Festive Season. I like that. Make sure I've got it the right way up here. Put that in the middle here. And that's all I need with the Real Red. And Cherry Cobbler goes with this too, but it seemed like Real Red I liked better. And then let's do that little house in light of navy. That cute little house. And you could colour in, obviously, but I was trying to keep it simple. So, like I say, we made these at our Christmas party, and we did something called a shoebox swap. So we each everyone designed a project and then made enough kits for everybody to make 1 or 2 of them. And the reason why it's called a shoebox swap is everyone brings all the contents in a, all the ink, the kits, the inks, the stamps, everything that's needed in a shoebox or something similar size. All right, so I'm going to grab old olives. And so it's really fun. We just sat around and chit-chatted and made each other's projects. We had lunch. We had baked potato bar for lunch and salad. We call them jacket potatoes, or potatoes in their jackets in England, so that was fun. So I'm going to do these little trees now. Let me move this up. Sorry, I'm getting off camera here. Do a little tree, and then we'll do this little tree, and just do another one like that. That's cute. And then I think I'm just going to do snowflakes. Like one of my team, she did snowflakes around the house instead of, well, I don't know if she did them up there too, but I think I'm going to copy what she did and do that. But, so there's a little snowflake stamp too. I'm using Balmy Blue. I will do some up here, I think. Oops, I got a little bit of didn't stamp very well, but that's okay, no one's going to notice. Let's turn it around. Let's do a few over here. Thought that was cute how she did that. Just kind of turning it round at random. I don't know. Got a bit carried away there, but anyway. That's cute. Okay, so now we will stick this onto here. Let's put away my stamps. So have you all seen this fold before? We got a few other people. Who else is here? I see a lot of people hopping on now. Hi, Christy. Yeah, have you all seen this fold before? Oops. Let's put this on here. And I'll put that to one side for just a minute. Okay. Now let's bring back this here. And I need those 2 1-inch pieces. So again, let's make sure that I've got them. Okay, so that one's going to go there, and that one's going to go there. Okay, let's put these onto the side. And I'm just going to line them up so there's equal space. Do it around this way. Oh, I might get in a muddle. Equal space on the top and the sides. It's going to get covered up just a little bit on the left, so don't worry too much. So that one. This one. Okay. Now, there's a couple of options here. We need to put this circle back in the middle, and we need it to basically be lined up, you know, in the right spot when this is attached to the back. So you can do it now, or you can attach this onto here and then slide it in afterwards. And people did it both ways on Saturday, and both ways work fine. So I'll show you how to do it if I can show you kind of both ways. So how I did it was, I'm going to put adhesive on the back here so it's all ready to go. Okay, so that's all ready. And then what I did was, you need to center, it's a little tricky because this piece is bigger than the piece underneath. But I'm going to line this up so it's centered left to right. So I'm kind of looking at where my score lines are in relation to this paper at the top. So you see I've got just a little bit here and a little bit here. So, and then I'm just, without moving it left to right, I'm just going to move it up so it's level, so I can't see that underneath piece anymore. And then that should be pretty much centered. If it's not 100% perfect, it's fine, because by the time you add in all those other little pieces, no one's going to notice. So then this should just fit perfectly in there like that, okay? All right, so that's that. Now let's finish assembling this. So I'm going to burnish these a little bit more with my bone folder, and they're all going to fold in the same way. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold in onto the very first score line, and I'm going to use, you could use, I found that our regular Stampin' Seal worked just fine here. If you want to use the Stampin' Seal Plus or liquid glue or tear and tape, you could definitely, but just for the sake of time, and like I say, I did find that it worked just fine. Now you're going to fold over on the last but one score line and just fold it flat. And this is what seems to be the best way. And that way, when you stand it up like that, you'll have a nice, you know, even square. If you try and kind of eyeball it, if you try and kind of do it, let me show you. If you try and put your adhesive on and then kind of fold it like this, you may not get it quite perfect, and it might be off a little bit. So this way you know that you're going to get it perfect. So again, just fold into the first score line, and then again up, then fold on the last but one score line, fold it flat. And you can see here, if you, what I was talking about, if you do a bigger circle, this part is going to show through, and then that's what happened on my first attempt. I thought I want a bigger opening, but when I did it, I realized, oh, that's not going to work. So now I'm going to again fold really. I want these to fold back and forth really flat. So I'm really working. I mean, I want them just to, yeah, to not have any kind of resistance. So I'm going to fold that really well. And again, this way, make sure that it folds flat. Just go back and forth a few times. And that way, when you stand it up, it's going to be nice and square. Okay. Now we're going to attach onto this base. This is probably the trickiest part, but it's not that bad. I'm going to use liquid glue because that gives me a little bit of time to kind of wiggle it into place. So, and then we'll just have the fun part, the decorating. So I definitely recommend liquid glue for this part. Right, then let's take this. What you want to do, what I did, make sure for a start, make sure you have it the right way up. Make sure that your inside circle's lining up with your outside one. So, and then what I'm going to do, and my light is kind of in the way, but I'm going to kind of center it left to right, how I think. But then I'm going to stand it up. Sorry, my granddog is here, Odie. Can you hear him? And I'm going to just kind of look. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm just looking to see that I'm kind of centered left to right. And that way too, you'll know that you're even kind of up and down, so the card's going to stand up. And then when I think, and make sure that your squares are kind of square looking. And then my husband's trying to stop him barking. And then what you can do is you can take, I use my finger, but you can take another, like your bone folder, you can put that in there just to make sure it's really stuck down. There's again this. And then when you're happy, then you can start to fold down like this. Make sure it's going to fold flat both ways. Just really press that back and forth. Okay, and there is your card. Now at this point, like say, the circle looks pretty good. If it's not quite centered, don't worry, because we're going to decorate, and by the time the other things are in there, you know, everything else, it's not going to notice. Okay, so let's bring in all the other pieces. So this is the sentiment that we just stamped, and then this piece comes in the kit too, in the Home for the Holidays. So everything basically that I'm using for the stamps and the decorations and this kind of thing, all comes from this kit. Okay, so we will attach this. To here, but I'm not going to stick it on the card yet. I want to do the inside part first. So that can go to one side. And then let's see. Oh, Denise says, is that a dog I hear? Yeah. So we have my granddog Odie for a couple of days. My son had to go on a trip. So we have him, and we're working on stopping him. He barks a lot at everything he hears or sees, and so we're working on reducing his barking. All right, so let's get all my other little pieces. So he's a big, he's about 65 pounds. He's half Border Collie and half Chesapeake Bay Retriever. I will post a picture of him. Some of you might have seen pictures of him before. He's a great dog. He's about 4 or 5, and he's really goofy. He's a really good dog, except for when he's barking a lot. Okay, so these are all the little pieces, and this is what I have left over from everybody making the cards over the weekend. So these are all the pieces, and they layer onto these card bases. So there's this one. So they kind of layer like this. I don't remember exactly how they go. And then this one. Let's grab the other one quickly. This one goes on here. And then there's trees and things. So you could use these for something else, or you could just maybe make one of these for somebody special. This isn't the kind of card that you're going to make probably tons of. And then, you'd still be able to use these as they're intended. But what I did, you can see what I did here, is I trimmed off the white along the bottom. Denise says, oh, you thought you were fostering? Yes, we are. Let me tell you about that in a minute. We are planning to do that. Okay, so let's just decide, while I'm assembling, I can tell you the fostering story. So we could put that little one like that. What I did on mine, where is mine? Oh, here it is. Let me show you. I used this one. And what I did was I trimmed it along the bottom, and then I cut up here and overlap them a little bit, and then I put this one on flat and this one with dimensionals. So I'm thinking about doing something similar with this. So this one is part of this. In fact, I think I'm going to use this one because I'm going to include the tree. Alright, so let's get my scissors. And this is pretty easy fussy cutting. It's nothing too tricky. So I can tell you the fostering story while I'm doing this. So we are hoping to foster with Labrador Rescue, which is where we got Tally. But we have to my husband is working on repairing some of our fence because we have some areas that need replacing. And Tally was really good. She never tried to get out at all. She loved her backyard and she loved her home, so she had no reason to try and leave. But obviously when you're fostering dogs, they may be trying to get out. So we have to have actually someone come and inspect our backyard before we're allowed to foster. So my husband Jim has been working on, so I think I'm going to cut this out here, on repairing the fence. But we did kind of have it in mind that we may not start until after Christmas with the fostering, just because it's a busy time. And if we were invited out to things or, out shopping and stuff like that, we didn't want to be leaving the dog for a long period of time or worrying about things like that. So I think the fence should be done soon and we'll be ready to go in the new year. So that's the update, Denise, on the fostering. Okay, so let's see how this is going to work. So I'm going to put this here flat, and then I'm going to put this one on with dimensionals. And then what I think I'll do is I think I have a little tree. So there's my little trees. Okay, here they are. So this is what I have left of the tree. So you get a variety of trees. So, and I just have a few left. So I think I'm going to put this one on the front. And then I think I'll put one of these little ones over. Well, maybe I don't even need that. I might be able to cut one in half. I don't have room for a whole one, so I might be able to cut one. But let's put these in first and see how we do. So let's put this one in. So it's kind of fun. You can do whatever you arrange however you like. And like I say, if you don't have these, let's see, let's go fairly high up. This one, you can stamp and cut out something completely different. You could do the nativity scene would be really pretty here from that Oh Holy Night suite. So let's put this one on with dimensionals and then I'll figure out the trees. I liked a little bit of dimension. You don't want to add too much extra dimension because it's quite thick anyway. And although it does fit in the envelope, I'm going to show you that it does. And the nice thing is you've got envelopes that come with these note cards. So let's just put that right like that. And then I think I can just about fit a tree there. So I'm just going to put a dimensional on one side. I've got to make sure that it's going to fold flat still. So let's actually see. I think that'd be all right. I'll just test the waters. So let's put that a little bit lower so that we give it some different kind of levels, like that. And let's see if that closes. Yeah, it does. And that looks cute. So just a couple of things left to do. So I've got this tree I'm going to put here, and I'm going to put my sentiment down here. Now, when you want to put this one on, you got to be careful not to have any adhesive on the back here at the top if you're overlapping the circle. Otherwise, when you close it down, it's going to stick. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to actually just put some adhesive along here, and that way I know I don't have to worry about it. And I'm just going to have it overlapping just a little bit. And let's see, where's my tree going to go? Okay, so I'm going to go off to the left a little bit. So there's room for the tree. And then I can put this on, and again I'm going to put the tree on with dimensionals. Yeah, we're excited about fostering, and then of course the plan is if we, again I want to make sure I don't have any adhesive hanging over the edge there. I'm going to move that just over a little bit. The plan is that if we obviously foster one that we love, then we'll keep it. And they call that a foster fail, which is a good thing. But then hopefully we'll be able to continue to foster too, you know, when we want, even when we have one of our own. We still miss our tally, of course, but we're looking forward to doing this. Okay, so what do you think? Is that cute? So just last minute things, we'll add some stars. So I cut out die cut a bunch of stars. I just went through my dies and found some dies that cut, you know, star dies. So, and I can't remember where this one's from. It cuts out 5 at once, which is nice. You can just cut them apart. So I'll try and, I can't remember what said it's from, but I'll make sure I add it. So you can just cut these apart. And not all the trees have a star on the top like this. So sometimes, so this one I used the 2 trees and I just added stars, but I don't really, I could still add one there, but I don't really need to. Oops. So let's just cut these apart. Oh, sorry, I'm off camera. I don't know why I'm off camera this time. Must have my camera in a different position or something, so I apologize. But let's, every week something's different. It never seems to go the same 2 weeks in a row. So let's put one up here. And I'm just going to put some little dobs of glue. You could use glue dots. I'm just going to put some little dobs right here, and we'll do 3 stars. You could use your take your pick tool. There's 1, 2, and 3. And if you want, you could put some in here. I think I could use these other ones. Maybe I'll do that. Just put a couple of. I'm going to use my take your pick tool to get in there. Like that. And then there's just a couple of things left to do, important things. So, one is to put some Wink of Stella on the stars. So, and you could put a bigger star there if you wanted. So we'll do some Wink of Stella. And the, oops, that's not quite stuck. Stay put. Yeah, they're not quite stuck down yet, but that's all right. And then the very last thing, and you definitely want to do this of the very last, is this paper pumpkin kit, this Home for the Holidays, comes with this little bottle of shiny, what do they call it? I don't know what it's called, but it's basically like a, you know, a sparkly glue, and glittery glue. And so you can go along, but you do want to do this last because it takes a little while to dry. So you can just go along the roof line, or kind of wherever you want, really. Oops, I've got a bit of a glob, but that's all right. When it dries, there's Odie again. When it dries, we'll have put a little bit along the bottom of the chimney. No one's going to notice that little glob. Do some along here. Maybe I need to shake it, I don't know. It's a bit globby. Put some down here too. And then you could put some on the trees if you like, that would be pretty. So, but you do want to set that aside to dry now. So there's the two different ones. I like this one because it's got a bit more red, it's a bit brighter. So let me just show you that it does fit in an envelope. Obviously I'm not going to do this one because I don't want to fold that flat at the moment, but this one, it does fold flat and it fits in the envelopes that come with. She says, there we go. See? So now you could make a smaller one, and you could definitely use the card. So if you wanted to do just a standard size, an A2 size, your card base would be this size, and you'd have your two columns here. So you could use this card front and cut this down, because your inside area you'd have a square like this. I'm not sure of the exact dimensions. I'll see if I can figure it out. And then you could cut your two side bits off for these two. But it'd be much smaller. I think the 5x7 size is like really lovely, and it's a nice change. And like I say, this is obviously a special card for somebody special. So you you obviously, you know, won't be making loads of these. Let's see what else. Oh, Mary says great card for the, yes. Yeah, it is. But like I say, you could do it with anything that you like, that you have, your favorite stamp sets. I think the Oh Holy Night suite would be really beautiful. You could use that DSP, and the nativity scene in the middle would be really lovely. And you don't have to do a circle here. You could do another shape if you wanted. You could do a square or something like that, you know, or if you still have those diorama dies, those would work well too. But thank you, Christine. Thank you, Denise. So yeah, I hope you'll give this a try. And like I say, subscribe to Paper Pumpkin if you don't already, so you can go buy all these good things. Like I say, the refills for both kits are available, and the add-on cards, and I'll list them all on my description. And then you'll be able to get January's, or you can skip January's and just pick and choose which kits you want to get. If you don't want to subscribe, then get hold of me and or someone you know that's a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, and we can order them for you. So anyway, thank you so much. My new host code for December is at the top. Don't forget to go check out the clearance rack. When you go look at the add-ons, go grab some stuff from the clearance rack too. And my host code is at the top there. As always, I have a free gift to give away with everybody placing a $50 order. This month is a pack of the iridescent rhinestone gems. So anyway, I will be back next week, and I'll have some new product to show you from next year's mini catalogue. So thank you again for joining with me and hanging out, and I will see you all next week. Have a great rest of the day. Bye for now.